Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are reacting to Mad Dog Russo's top 5 point guards in NBA history. And I will say straight up, I've reacted to 2 of this man's videos right here. I thought he was a Walmart Skip Bayless, but you guys said this man's been around for a minute, more of a baseball guy. And the 2 videos I checked out, that definitely remains true because the first one was like the top 5 NBA teams in history, and that was just bad. I think he had the Milwaukee Bucks on there like 3 times. He had like 0 Chicago Bulls. And then the other one was the top 5 scorers of all time. And I remember he had Pistol Pete on there, which, you know, I respect Pistol Pete, but I don't go with my top 5 scorer of all time, man. So there were some other pretty atrocious takes here, too. So at the end of his top 5 point guards, I'm actually going to tell you guys my top 5 point guards of all time and the criteria for it at the end of the video. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, hit that like button, subscribing if you're new to the channel. Let's get it, man. Let's see. I feel like it's not going to be good.
Who doesn't? We have to make sure he's on top of this. We did my little list. The Mad Dog top 5 point guards of all time.
Yep.
I understand some of these guards are hybrids. I get that. The pure point guard nonsense that Stephen A. likes to tell about. All right, number 5.
Something to be said about that.
Number 5, I want to put Curry, make him happy. At number
Steph Curry at 5? I got you, Stephen A. Smith. Hold my hairline, man. That is blasphemous. Like, yeah, you got Steph Curry at number 5. Steph Curry's on my list. For a while, I had Steph Curry at number 1, man, but then I thought about it more, and I listened to my subscriber base. But you guys give me knowledge every single day, man. Like, straight up. Like, I respect you guys that comment anything, man, and call me on my BS, because I learn from you guys every single day, man. So I got Magic at number 1, okay? And I got Curry at number 2. But we'll see. Yeah, I'll tell you guys the rest of it, man. This is horrible. Horrible.
I understand.
No, you don't.
Curry is a guy who does a lot of things, but just be the typical point guard. But he's won the 3 championships. He only won 1 by himself. But he's a great shooter. That's part of.
What does that even mean? You won it. He didn't win any of them by himself. No player wins any championships by himself. MJ needed Scotty. LeBron needed full power to be a GM. Like, nobody doing it by themselves.
Being a great point guard makes people around him.
I'm already mad. I'm done.
Number 4, he got the 3 finals. He won a championship with Dallas. His defense, his intensity, his energy. I don't love him as a person, but number 4, we will put.
You got Jason Kidd over Steph! Do I dare even analyze this?
Jason Kidd at number 4. He's a big thing. And you know, one thing about Jason Kidd, he made big shots when he had to make big shots. I understand he wasn't a great shooter, but when he had to make a big jumper, he made a big jumper. Kidd is
well, for one, Jason Kidd, I believe, like, ended his NBA career. Wasn't he, like, he was up there for, like, most three-pointers in NBA history. I don't know what he's sitting at exactly. But he did develop his jump shot later on in his career. So, I mean, it wasn't his go-to to start things off, but he did get it going.
Number 3 is not even an issue. He's underrated because Jordan hated him and Bird. Not even an issue. 2 titles. He was a point guard long before Dumars showed up. He won championships in college. He is an all-time great quickness, jump shot, making people better.
Zeke?
Not even close. Isaiah is number 3, Mr. Thomas.
Okay, I am mad about him having Isaiah Thomas at number 3. As a Pistons fan, I'm mad about him having Isaiah Thomas over Steph Curry. Okay?
And I'm not a big fan. Ask the Knicks. He ran that team to the ground, but he's number 3. Number 2, and he's a point guard. He is not a 2 guard. Triple-double. Pounds the ball. People better.
Russell Westbrook would be my guess.
Not even debatable. He went to Milwaukee, helped Alcindor to win a championship. The big O is Oscar Robertson. He is number 2. Don't debate it. Don't tell me, oh, I'm not sure. No. 2. And number 1, nobody could argue. Even I can't come up with one. Although he wasn't great in the '84 final when Bird was better.
Magic
is 5 championships. Everybody knows how.
All right, I got to hear Stephen A. roast this man real bad. Real bad.
Shots. Listen, I'm not stupid. I want to cause a little fun, but I'm not crazy. Magic Johnson is number 1. Those are your 5 best. Now, to be nice, I'm going to give you some honorable mentions to make sure we're all in the mix.
Here we go.
With honorable mentions. Listen, you're going to laugh? Go ahead and laugh all you want. I don't want to hear JJ tell me, JJ Redick, about, well, there was no players. Nonsense. He was all-team NBA when Oscar and West were in the league. He won 1 million championships, 29 assists. He was All-NBA 11 straight years. Bob Cousy is an order.
Oh,
it's
my.
A no if and no if, ands, or buts.
There's nothing wrong with Bob Cousy as an NBA player, man. Like, in his time, he was great. If you put that man Bob Cousy in the NBA today, I mean, what do you all think? How's he gonna perform, man? You all let me know. What is Bob Cousy doing in the NBA today, man? Let me know. Let me know. Apparently, he's just right behind Steph Curry, so some pretty damn great things.
Bob Cousy is in your honorable mention list. That's number one. Number two, I love the way he shot the basketball. I love the way he didn't have a lot of great players around him. He was great with Dallas, great with Phoenix. I love the way he played the game. Wonderful shooter. Nash, Steve Nash. You can't coach.
Like Steve Nash.
But Steve Nash is an honorable mention on our scenario. And then number three, it's Stockton. Nobody is going to sit there and tell me that John Stockton is not one of the top 8, 10 point guards.
I mean, I know people have like their opinions about John Stockton. You know, when it comes to basketball lists, I try to keep the outside stuff, you know, from, really like change up the opinion, man. Because I don't feel like that's right. Like, we're talking about NBA. Let's see what the guy did as a basketball player, right, man? So, John Stockton, I do think that a lot of people have different opinions on him and everything like that. I feel like there's some middle ground. You know, I don't think he's like as great as some people say. I also don't think he's as bad as some people say. I feel like he's just like John Stockton was a good quality point guard who would have been a good player anywhere, but he did benefit, from the team he was on playing with Karl Malone. Like, I feel like it's okay to look at that both ways.
In the history of the NBA. And what do all these guys have in common? They play in big spots. Magic championships, Oscar championships, Isaiah championships, Kid championships.
All right, okay. Well, you're going to talk about Steph Curry. You're literally going to talk about Steph Curry only earning one of his rings on his own. Let's not act like Dirk Nowitzki wasn't the man when J-Kidd won that ring in Dallas. Like, and I remember watching it, like J-Kidd, the Jet and everything like that. Like, they were fun to watch. But that was Dirk literally putting a team on his back, man. Literally. I'm not saying just like fictionally. Literally, man, he had the team on his back, carrying him around, man. That was Dirk. But you have the audacity to say Steph Curry only won one of his rings on his own. That's no disrespect to Jason Kidd. He's not above Steph Curry, though.
Curry, championships. Stockton lost to Jordan, championship finals. Nash, if he didn't have that collision there with the Spurs and the freaking...
My man only got CP3 as an honorable mention.
At Stoudemire, they walked at the court. They would have won that series. Conference finals at least minimum. And nobody can sit there and tell me about Cousy. The one thing that Mr. Smith's going to make...
Yeah, I'm named damn Cousy for my drink after hearing this.
One. Not two, not 10. One conference final. That's it. Last year in the NBA Finals.
Okay. I understand what he's saying in that respect, where it's like, yes, I do think Chris Paul needs to win a ring. I really think to really, solidify his legacy, he's always going to be known as a great point guard and everything like that, but that ring would do so much for him because he already is everything that's perfect about an NBA point guard without having the ring. Everything else, aces.
They lost 4 straight games.
Champ.
After a 2-0 lead. Those are your 8 best point guards without an issue. You can figure out the order in the...
Yeah, Steph Curry above Jason Kidd.
Your turn.
Are you finished? I mean, I can't believe. Listen, how in God's name do you have a top 8 point guard, the top 8, and Chris Paul is not on the list? How is
ridiculous.
That possible? How is that possible? You should be ashamed of yourself. And by the way, listen. We all know that the athletes today are surreal.
Bro, I will take CP3 right now over a prime Bob Cousy.
Than the athletes of the past, okay? There's no arguing about that. And Chris Paul, a miniature dude at 6 feet, could barely touch
Don't
the
use height.
rim.
Height don't need to be part of the argument. It doesn't. I mean, Bob Cousy, isn't he 6'1"? Isaiah Thomas pretty short, I believe. Yeah, man, when I say short, yeah, I'm saying I'm 5'8", so I'm saying that, but yeah.
Certainly doesn't have an above-the-rim game or anything like that. Is the quintessential point guard, floor general, of the modern era. There is no question about this. No question about this. Every place he goes, they're better than when he arrived. We understand that. We all understand it. And our floor general is a guy that is an extension, an umbilical cord of the coach, who runs the show, who's responsible not just for himself, but everybody else. And I notice how you didn't mention defense, because Chris Paul has always been an all-NBA defender. We're going to forget
That's a good point. I mean, it seems like when we do look at these rankings and stuff like that, offense definitely trumps. Now, you may personally put like defense into your personal list, which I highly respect you for that. But I see, like, I feel like majority lists I've seen definitely plays more towards like what have they done on the offense side, like how do they make their teammates better offensively, and we don't look at defense as much, but we definitely should. But okay, guys, I don't need to listen to Stephen A. Smith say exactly what I said. Pledge only about a minute left here, but my top 5 point guards. Off the top of my head, number 1, I have Magic Johnson. Number 2, I have Steph Curry. Now, I do think by the time Steph Curry retires, he's probably going to pass Magic Johnson for me personally as my number 1 point guard of all time. I really do think that. Number 3, I do have Oscar Robertson. You know, a lot of that is just like, I mean, obviously I wasn't watching Oscar Robertson growing up because I was not alive yet. So, I mean, a certain level of it, you have to trust, you know, things that you hear from the media and things that you look at looking at film and stuff yourself. But Oscar Robertson, I mean, he seems like he was Russell Westbrook with a more composed, I guess, style of play. Like, you got all the great things out of Russell, but you got it in this leadership way that wasn't really hurting the team. Number 4, I do have Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons. I don't know, man, as far as like peaks go as NBA players, like he had one of the best. And yeah, and maybe this one's a little bit just because, like, you know, man, it's Isaiah Thomas, like Detroit Pistons, you know, bad boys and stuff like that. But I also don't think people are going to hate on me for that. And number 5, I actually do have Chris Paul. I do think Chris Paul is the 5th greatest point guard of all time. Looking strictly at what he does on the basketball court, yes, he needs to win a ring, but I still have him number 5. And, you know, obviously, like I don't mention this too, I mean, there's so many of them you can go with. You know, I talked about John Stockton already. Jerry West, you know, Jerry West, I was a little plagued by in my mind because, you know, of the finals record and everything like that, but also at the same time, he also was kind of like, I can't really use this argument because Oscar Robertson, you can also use the same argument, but Jerry also did play like a lot of shooting guard too at times, man. If you look at Basketball Reference, you know, you'll see on there, it tells them like what seasons he played, what positions, the majority and stuff like that. So that's what I got, man, for my top 5. You may agree, you may disagree. Give me yours in the comment section below. What I do know is I don't think any of us agree with Mad Dog. So that's how we got. Peace out, my friends.